Hi everybody, happy Thursday. And I'm sorry I'm not here today. This is going to be part 2 of lesson 5-2. We started this lesson on Tuesday and I wanted to finish up so that way you can continue and go on and do lesson 5-3. So let's just take a look. We are still solving systems of equations by substitution. Our learning objective is still the same. We're going to be able to solve systems of linear equations by substituting, and we're supposed to be able to use systems to solve real-life problems. So today, during your algebra class, we got through problem number, and I know we did this, we did problem number 13, and I started in period 1 to do problem number 14, and I know in period 3 I finished problem 14 and I went a little bit farther. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do problem number 14 again. If you are in period 3 and you totally understand what I did, you may skip ahead in this video and continue and do the last part of it. But here we go with problem number 14. In problem 14 we notice that I have got two equations, and we commented today, I have two equations that are both equal to y. Therefore, if both equations are equal to y, I could substitute this right in there. In other words, both equations are going to be equal to each other. So I'm going to write them as follows. Negative 4x is equal to 3x plus 14. Now I'm going to continue to solve for x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 3x from this side, move all my x's over here, and I'm left with 14 is equal to negative 7x. I'm going to solve for one value of x, which gives me, if I divide both sides by negative 7, I therefore get that x is equal to negative 2. So remember, in a system, I need to have both an x and a y. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to solve for the second variable of y. I'm actually going to use this equation right there. So I'm going to write that y is equal to negative 4 times negative 2, which is equal to 8. So now I have my ordered pair of negative 2, comma 8, and I'm going to go in, like I've been doing, and double check my work. So I'm going to substitute both the x and the y back into each one of these equations. So I'm going to write that a is equal to 3 times negative 2 plus 14. And I know that that's negative 6 plus 14. And does that equal 8? Absolutely it does. My second one is going to be y. So what is y? 8. And is 8 equal to negative 4 times 2? Absolutely, or negative 2 I should say. And this indeed is correct. So that's number 14. So now, moving on, I would like to make sure that you do the following problems on your own. And the following problems that I'd like you to do on your own is number 15 and number 16. So do those right now, and I really want you to concentrate a lot of effort on the 1/2 x. So try it, give it your best shot, and you can. So here is the work for problem number 15. And you could see that what I did was I took this 1/2 x minus 1 and I substituted it in for y. And I did that even though I had a 1/2 x. So then I distributed, noting that 2 times 1/2 is 1x right there, and minus 1 times 2 is negative 2. So now I combine like terms and I get that x is equal to 1/2. Because remember, over here, if I've got 4x is equal to 2, I'm going to divide both sides by 4. And please make sure that you always simplify. Okay, so now what I have to do is I've got to use that value of x, plug it in, and get my value of y. So what I did was I actually went back to this equation right there. I could have easily, I looked there and I thought, 3 times 1/2, that would have been giving me 3 over 2. So I thought, well, I'll make this easy. And what I did was I multiplied 1/2 times 1/2, which when I do that, that's 1/4. And I'm going to take 1/4 away from 1. So what is that? So 1/4 minus 1 is, if you think about dollars, I always think of 1/4 of a dollar is 25 cents, which is a quarter. So I know that my answer is negative 3/4. So my ordered pair solution was 1/2 comma negative 3/4. For number 16, I used this value of 6y minus 7 for x, went through all my substitution, found out that y is equal to 1. Then what I did was I substituted it back in, and I went back to this original equation, and I got that x is equal to negative 1. So my two ordered pairs are negative 1, comma 1. So hopefully you were able to do those and that you got the right answer. So now I'm going to move on, and I am going to do problem number 17 and 18. But before I do that, I want you to notice up here, the example 2 states, what do you notice about the equations? Solve either one of the equations for x or y. So you need to make a decision. And somebody asked me today in one of the classes during algebra, which one do I choose? And I'm like, I always pick the easiest one. So choose the equation that you personally find is easiest to solve. So I'm going to go ahead and do 17. I believe I did this already in period 3. So you could either listen or skip ahead and do 18. But I'm going to look at this and I'm going to realize that what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add x to both sides. And when I add x to both sides, I'm going to get that y is equal to x plus 3. So now I got one value of y, and that value of y is x plus 3. So then I'm going to take that value of y, and I'm going to plug it in into my second equation right there. And I'm going to write the following. 3x plus x plus 3 is equal to negative 1. Now I'm going to go ahead, and I know that I can drop these parentheses because there are no negatives. There's nothing I have to distribute. So I'm going to simply combine this and go 4x plus 3 is equal to negative 1. I'm going to go ahead and continue to solve by subtracting 3 from both sides. And I get 4x is equal to negative 4. Therefore, x is equal to negative 1. All right, so I've got the value of x. So now what I need to do is find out what y is. So you can plug it in, either substitute it into this equation or that equation. I always take the easiest equation, so I'm going to use the first one again. And I know I've got negative 1 plus y is equal to 3. I know that this is 1 plus y is equal to 3, therefore y is equal to 2. So the only thing that I need to make sure is, does this solution work? And what is that solution? Negative 1 comma 2. Don't forget, you always need to write it as an ordered pair. So let's go in and let's make sure by double checking our work. So I'm going to plug it back into each equation. So I'm going to go negative 1 plus 2. Is that equal to 3? Absolutely, because this becomes a positive. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Now let's do the second one. 3 times negative 1 plus 2. Does that equal negative 1? Well, this is negative 3 plus 2 is equal to negative 1. Absolutely, that works. So we did number 17. And now let's go ahead and do 18. Make sure I focus this okay. Lock it up. All right, I think I'll try to blow this up just a little bit. You can easily watch it. So now I've got x plus y is equal to negative 2 and negative 3x plus y is equal to 6. Pick which one you'd rather do. I'm actually going to stick with the first one, and I'm just going to solve for x. Why not, right? So I'm going to subtract y from both sides. And when I do that, I'm going to write x is equal to minus y minus 2. That's what I did. But take a look right here. This one would have been easier because I would have moved this over and I would have gotten that y is equal to 3x plus 6. So either way works. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue working with that first one that I chose, which was the x is equal to negative y minus 2. All right, so let's go ahead. Where am I going to substitute that? I'm going to substitute this in right here for this x. So I'm going to write negative 3 times negative y minus 2 plus y is equal to 6. I'm going to distribute across. So I'm going to get positive 3y. Negative 3 times negative 2 is plus 6. Plus y is equal to 6. Combine like terms, and I get 4y. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. I'm going to get 4y is equal to 0. Take a look there. That's pretty cool, right? I love zeros. So therefore, dividing both sides by 4, therefore I get y is equal to 0. Okay, well now that y is equal to 0, I could easily plug it back in, and I'm actually going to go up to my very first equation again, because I really like that one. That's easy. And I'm going to write x plus 0 equals negative 2. Well, what's the answer? The answer is negative 2. X is equal to negative 2. So now I've got my ordered pair. My ordered pair is negative 2 comma 0. And be good mathematicians and go back in and check your work. I already did that right here. You can see that I took negative 2 plus 0 is equal to negative 2, check. And negative 3 times negative 2 plus 0 definitely is equal to 6. Therefore, 6 is equal to 6. So I've checked my solution. All right. I'm going to do one more just to kind of give you that extra guidance. If you feel comfortable doing these on your own, then I want you to do 19, 20, 21, and 22 on your own. Okay, and if you want to hang and do one more with me, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to notice that I've got negative x plus y is equal to negative 4. So I'm actually going to use this one. And I'm going to add x to both sides, which gives me y is equal to x minus 4. I'm going to take this value of y right here, which is x minus 4, and I'm going to substitute it in right there for y. So there I go. I'm going to write 4x minus, and what am I going to put in for y? This time I'm going to use parentheses again, and you're going to see why in just a minute, why I did that, is equal to 10. I'm going to continue now. Take a look. I've got this negative, which means I've got to distribute the negative across the parentheses, which now leaves me with 4x minus x plus 4 equals 10. Continue to combine like terms. I get 3x plus 4 is equal to 10. Take 4 away from both sides. I get 3x is equal to 6. Therefore, x is equal to 2. So I get a value of x is equal to 2. Now what I need to do is use that value of x and go back in and find the value of y. Well, this time, I'm actually going to use that equation right there. So I'm going to write 4 times 2 minus y is equal to 10. This is 8 minus y is equal to 10. I'm going to take 8 away from both sides. Negative y is equal to 2, therefore y is equal to negative 2. So, what is my ordered pair? My ordered pair solution is 2, negative 2. And please make sure you go in and double check that those two are indeed correct. So now what I'd like you to do on your own is do 20, 21, and 22. So here are the answers to the ones I asked you to do. So you can see here that what I decided to do was I took this one, 3x minus y is equal to 1, and I converted this one into y is equal to 3x minus 1. That's what I did. And then what I did was I substituted 3x minus 1 back into this equation right here. And you can see there's lots of negatives. So when I substituted it in, you could see I wrote 2x minus parentheses 3x minus 1, because that's what I got right there. You're probably going, how did I get 3x minus 1? Well, remember that I had 3x minus y is equal to 1. I subtracted 3x from both sides, which left me 3x plus 1, and then which left me with negative y. And you have to go in and divide everything by negative, which left me with y is equal to 3x minus 1. So then I come in here, do the distribution, combine like terms, move my 1, and I get that negative x is equal to negative 6, therefore that x is equal to 6. And you could see here in my work that I have definitely made some errors when I was doing this work originally that I left, so you could see my mistakes. So then I went in, and now that I know that x is equal to 6, I went in and I substituted 3 times 6 minus y is equal to 1, did the math and the algebra around it, and I got that y is equal to 17. So my ordered pair is 6, 17, and I hope that you were successful doing that. For number 21 and 22, here are just the answers. I got negative 2, negative 9 over 2. And for 22, I got 0, 4. I'm hoping that you were successful. If you had questions on this, please star it, and I can definitely go over next week on Monday when I come back into the classroom. All right, so now the last thing that we are going to do is I am going to go through this real-life problem right here. And I just want you to take notes. In fact, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip this problem, because this is a very complicated problem in the way that it's worded. I think it could be worded better. So I'm going to put this to the side and ask you not to do it. We are not going to do this one. So if you, again, did not get a chance to do 21 and 22, make sure you go in and do it. And then you should stop this video and now go on and do video for the lesson 5-3. You'll find that on the same date, so you need to make sure that you do both videos with the notes. Okay, good luck with doing that other video, and then make sure you get the homework, and I'll go over it in the video as to what the homework is.